Business leaders are visiting Wood County this week to look at potential sites for future business. Our Chase Campbell went with the group this morning as they toured the Polymer Alliance Zone.
A group of 18 Japanese business leaders is in Wood County this week touring local sites and facilities. They spent Thursday morning at Davisville's Polymer Alliance Zone, touring a recently vacated building and the SOMAR facility. SOMAR is a Japanese company that moved into the Polymer Alliance Zone this year and will soon ramp up production of epoxy resins that are used in automotive manufacturing. SOMAR's president was the driving force behind bringing the business delegation to West Virginia. He says that after working with West Virginia officials to bring SOMAR to the state, he wanted to make his colleagues in Japan more aware of what the region has to offer.
In Japan, they don't know about West Virginia. They know about like California or New York or a big state. But actually, when I realized that this is the best state to invest in.
Satani says the other members of the business delegation have been impressed by what they've seen during their visit.
They just couldn't believe how wonderful here is. So I hope this is just the first delegation of this time. So I hope I can continue, and I just want to bring as many companies as possible.
Polymer Alliance Zone President Keith Burdett says even though there isn't a guarantee that the businesses in the delegation will start up operations that bring new jobs to Wood County, making the contacts and showing what the region has to offer is still a valuable opportunity. He says the visit has been a success.
It's been awesome. I don't know that I could have asked for it to be any better. Our guests have been attentive. They've asked a lot of questions. Our companies that they visited have been welcoming and patient and given them a great picture of why this is the right place to do business and invest.
In addition to the Polymer Alliance Zone, the group also toured Hino Motors and Chemours Washington Works. In Davisville, Chase Campbell, WTAP News.